Hey everybody, it's Professor Malat. Welcome to week 2. This week we're focusing more on narration or storytelling and the elements of what makes a good story. We're also going to be learning about a certain type of narrative writing called the literacy narrative in preparation for the first formal essay that's due next week in week 3. So some of the things that I want you to be looking at this week, I'm not going to go through the objectives. You can read those for yourself. First of all, working with grammar, we are working on semicolons and colons this week. Please read those 2 pages from the Ret Lab in preparation for grammar quiz number 2. In the writer's practice, please read Reading Like a Writer. That's on pages 41 to 45 in the PDF. I also want you to read Malcolm X's Learning to Read. This is a PDF handout. It's probably about 5 pages long. It's not super long, but it's a very interesting story about Malcolm X and how he learned to read. There's 2 more things. Narration. This is a website that will talk you through the basics of narration so that you understand a little bit more about narrative writing. And I also have this page called Writing an Effective Narrative Introduction. And hopefully this will give you a little bit of guidance as you begin the pre-writing for that first big essay. I don't want to call it a big essay. The first formal essay that you're required to write for this course. For the videos, you are going to watch Andrew Stanton's The Clues to a Great Story, and then watch my lecture, which is about 17 minutes long, called What is Narrative? It just gives you a little bit more detail on how you can take the elements that we typically use in narrative writing for your non-fictional literacy narrative. I'm actually going to change around the order of those so that you know which ones you should watch first, not read first. The assignments this week are grammar quiz number 2. Again, that's a really short quiz, 5 questions, 5 points. There is a discussion board that has reading and video responses related to the Malcolm X reading, so you absolutely should read that, as well as the video that we watched with Andrew Stanton. I'm going to click that open so that you can see it's a series of 5 questions, just kind of gauging where your understanding of those 2 assigned pieces, we'll call them. Don't worry about getting answers correct, but at least make a valiant attempt. I also would like you to respond to 2 peers. Again, peer responses will be due on Wednesday. That's May 24th. And your response should be more than I agree or disagree or great point or great post. Those are all nice things, and by all means, you should say that. However, I want you to also strive to go a little bit deeper. Sometimes you can ask questions and maybe try to get a dialogue going. Otherwise, why are we calling it a discussion, right? And then lastly, we have journal number 2, which is pre-writing or brainstorming for essay number 1. I'm opening that up for you, pre-writing for the literacy narrative. So remember that this narrative is a personal essay that explains and reflects on your experience as a writer or reader. You can focus on in-school or out-of-school literacy experiences. You can write about how you write or read social media posts or create fan fiction, text with loved ones, protest with a sign you made, keep a personal journal, or so on. Of course, if English is not your native language, you might want to write about your experiences learning to read and write in English. I would love to read that. I've had lots of English language learners in my previous classes, and it's always interesting to get the perspective of someone for whom English is not their first language. So think about the questions below. What are the most important pieces of writing you've ever done in your life? Under what circumstances did you write them? What form did they take? Why were they important? In what ways do they affect your life? And what do these pieces of writing suggest about the role of writing in your life? So just think about, just to get the juices flowing and to get your brain moving in the right direction, I want you to write down some brief answers to the questions and consider what those answers reveal about the role of writing in your life. Also think about the various aspects of rhetoric and ask yourself questions about how you want to compose your text. So think about the purpose. What is the purpose of the literacy narratives? What do I want people to understand about me after reading this text? What are some anecdotes I could describe from my past that would illustrate my experience? You also want to consider your audience. In this case, it's me. I will definitely be reading it. Beyond that, who do you think might need to hear your message? Is it people who have similar experiences, or maybe you want to reach people who haven't shared these experiences to inform them? Think about tone. What tone do I need to adopt to be taken seriously? What kind of attitude should I project in my writing? What words or visuals should I give or avoid to maintain an effective tone? Of course, genre, this has been pre-selected by me. It is an essay. You're writing a literacy narrative, which is a type of personal essay. So it's going to be different than other types of academic writing that you may have done in the past or that you'll be doing in this class later on. But in other rhetorical situations, you need to ask questions to help you determine an effective genre. So that's the only reason I address genre there. And then, of course, context. What context do I need to keep in mind? How might my literacy history be similar to or different from others? What specific circumstances might I need to explain in my literacy narrative? You want to make sure that your audience has enough context to understand what you are trying to convey in your writing. So you can write this in journal, write your journal in the text submission area or submit a document. I don't want you to worry too much about drafting an essay. If you want to write a rough draft for the essay, that's fine, but at least get some ideas down regarding your own experience as a reader and writer of English. The point of this assignment is just to get your creative juices flowing, okay? That's 25 points and it is due May 21st, just like all the other assignments for the week. So again, do the readings, watch the videos, grammar quiz, discussion board, journal number 2, pre-writing. Pretty straightforward. Good luck, and I look forward to reading what you have. Take care, everybody.